Hey, friends! This time we're looking at an interesting comedy of a kind that probably couldn't be made today. Not because of the subject matter, but because it's a movie made for grown-ups. That kind of movie seems to be in short supply these days. Am I right? Anyway, we're talking about The Last Married Couple in America from 1980, starring George Segal and Natalie Wood. Our story goes like this. Jeff and Mary Thompson are a happily married couple living a good, contented life when suddenly they notice that all of their married friends are breaking up, as the dawn of a new era sweeps the land and divorce and sexual freedom become the norm. Jeff and Mari suddenly feel old-fashioned and out of step with the times, simply because they have a happy marriage. And since their friends are all splitting up, they feel maybe they're missing out and start to wonder. Adding to Jeff's confusion, Barbara, a friend of Mari's, starts hitting on him. And his best friend Marv splits up with his wife and not only promotes the bachelor swinger lifestyle, but is also deeply depressed about it. Will Jeff and Mari's marriage survive this new libertine age? And will true love triumph in the end? In our cast, we have George Segal, and I really liked him here as the husband navigating the confusing new world he finds himself thrown into. And of course, we have the legendary actress Natalie Wood. The Last Married Couple in America was her last completed film before her untimely tragic death. She's good here as Mari and utterly believable as the wife and mother, just as confused about the new ways of the world as her husband. Richard Benjamin from Quark plays Jeff's best friend who takes up the single life and gets all depressed. Other than Quark, Benjamin appeared in a lot of movies and shows like Westworld and How to Beat the High Cost of Living. He also took up directing with movies such as Mermaids, My Favorite Year, The Money Pit, Milk Money, and My Stepmother is an Alien, to his credit, among other things. Valerie Harper, Rhoda herself, is here as Barbara, the friend of Mari's, though she's not a very good friend, since she's a trampy flirt trying to seduce Jeff. We also have comedian Dom DeLuise as a friend of Jeff's. He's doing his standard fussy guy shtick he was so well known for. Priscilla Barnes from Three's Company is on hand as one of the wives in what amounts to a brief cameo. Marilyn Sokol plays Alice in the movie. She was the voice of Ma Otter in Emmett Otter's Jug Band Christmas. She did a lot of voice work on Sesame Street, too. So, we have a good cast with some name brands and good character actors. Gilbert Cates directs. He worked mostly in TV, but he did direct some other movies, such as the sequel to Oh God. He was also a producer and worked on the Academy Awards telecasts for several years, back when they still meant something. So, how about this thing? Is this movie any good? Well, yeah, I enjoyed it quite a bit. As far as a comedy, it's not a knee-slapper exactly, but it is very amiable. It has a sort of quiet humor, I guess. Anyway, I liked it. You really root for these two to make it, even in the face of changing times and the ups and downs they encounter and the mistakes they themselves make along the way. The Last Married Couple in America is very much a product of its time, though. The attitudes about sex depicted in the movie were not new. In fact, they were a little behind the times by 1980 when this movie came out. But Here, those attitudes were aimed more broadly and matter-of-fact, as opposed to just having shock value. Remember, this picture was from a time when you could go see a movie made for grown-ups that talked about grown-up things in grown-up ways from a grown-up perspective. The movie assumes a maturity on the part of the viewer, which is sorely lacking among Twitter users today. That's why I say you couldn't make this picture now. Maturity is not a thing the twit-idiots and their part of Hollywood that listens to them seems to value. And that means badly written, juvenile, young adult, crotch-fondling Mary Sue fanfic is the norm, instead of something like this picture. Given the choice, I know which I'd prefer. I'm giving The Last Married Couple in America 2 3/4 paws up. It's a grown-up comedy for grown-ups. It has a good cast, is well directed, and it has a lovely theme song too. And it's an interesting slice of suburbia circa 1980. It's a bit of a time capsule, but one well worth opening up. You take care of yourselves, and I'll see you in the next one.